Back at it. We're back at it, y'all. Thank you for joining King Shit Talk. I had to get some stuff together. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I wasn't feeling it for a little bit because that's why I had to come on early because I got to get my stuff together. But I was a little bit out of sorts because I allowed someone that should have absolutely no control over my emotions. I allowed that person to have some control over me a little bit. Now, you guys are going to be surprised at who that person was, but let me say this first. Thank you in advance for everybody that's going to tune in and converse with us. I have very special guests that will be here with me, Vulnerably Naked. Three beautiful queens that are doing their own thing with their podcast. Um, they have a lot of great subject matter. They go on every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I believe they're doing 8 to 10 now. They used to let it go a lot longer than that, but 8 to 10 now. But they'll be here with us tonight. I'm gonna get my wine and ice ready and get my cigar ready because both are needed tonight. Let y'all see my shirt a little bit. I got my Golden Girl shirt on. I don't know, y'all can't see it too much. But yeah, I got my Golden Girl shirt on. Just maxing and relaxing. But what we're gonna be talking about tonight is whether or not your level up is limited by your surroundings. And I'll give it a second, and then I'll explain pretty much what I'm talking about and what I mean by that. Because I've had a lot of people have seen me post that up, and a lot of people are asking me, what are you talking about? What do you mean, or whatnot? And so I explained it to them, and I'll explain it to you guys too in a second. Hope everybody's been having a great day thus far. Mine has been very busy. I had to get Ace some shots today. So he scratched me up a little bit because of that, but it is what it is. And the Vulnerably Naked is here. Let's go ahead and get them to hop up. There they are.
Hey.
How y'all doing? Hey, I've been. It's been a little rough the past 30 minutes, and I'm gonna explain how it got rough, and y'all probably gonna laugh at me. But how are you guys doing? First of all,
we're doing great. Good.
Good. Now, I only heard two naked vulnerables. Where's the third? Okay. There she is. Yeah, I was telling everybody that, the subject matter is your level up limited by your surroundings. I have to explain it because I've been getting a lot of people asking me, what exactly do I mean by that? And basically what I mean by that is, are we allowing things outside of us to hinder us from what we want to do to prolong our progression, anything like that. So leveling up is anything that's moving forward. So what kind of things are we allowing to keep us stagnant, to keep us in the same place, in the same area?
Are you asking us now?
That's a good question, though.
No, that's I was explaining what it was because I've gotten so many messages since last week asking me specifically what did I mean by that. Because a lot of people, when I just put it as is your level up limited by your surroundings, I guess that confused a lot of people, and they were like, okay, they didn't really know how to take that. And so once I explained it, it was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. But I guess we can shoot. No, before I jump into the questions that I have for you guys, everyone, not everyone, but there's a large amount of people that already know who you guys are because you guys are killing it on here. But I'll let you guys introduce yourselves individually and as a whole. And you know what I mean by as a whole, because I like how y'all do that in unison. But go ahead. Go ahead and introduce yourselves though, and explain what you guys do and what your subject matter is before we jump right into what we're going to be talking about. And I'm gonna light my cigar while y'all doing that.
Welcome to Vulnerably Naked.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I'm Love, one of the Vulnerably Naked queens, and I'm excited to be on this show today.
And I'm Jacali, and also the excitement is there. I'm looking forward to getting deep with this conversation with your crew, your peoples.
And I'm Zuri. We're very appreciative for you even having us on the show and giving us even more exposure and just connecting with you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys are very welcome, and I'm honored to have you guys on here. I really am because, like I was saying, I enjoy listening to you guys every week. Last night's show, if you guys haven't listened to last night's show yet, go listen. Go listen to last night's show. It was very interesting. I'm gonna leave it at that. But y'all definitely know how to open those doors wide open and let people feel comfortable with whatever needs to be discussed.
They still have jokes in me about last night's show. I can't even live down my answers to some of the questions.
Really?
Yes. And I thought I was being wrong.
It was amazing. I enjoyed it.
So what happened 30 minutes ago?
Oh, thank you for asking. I was just about to say I'm sorry for the pause, but I was lighting a cigar. Let me tell you, this heifer got on my nerves so doggone bad about 30 minutes ago. It totally took me out of my element. I had to come and woosah and really think about what was more important and my sanity and stuff like that. And it actually, now that I think about it, it actually flows right into what we're talking about, tonight, because I limited myself for about 22 minutes. And the reason is the more I think about it, the more upset I am with myself. Because the person that did it was Mary J. Blige. Now I'm dead. I told you were gonna laugh, but I am dead serious. I'm dead serious. And this is how she pissed me off. She there's this show. And I didn't even know Mary had a show. It looked like it might be a little podcast type thing or whatever. But I looked at the television and it was her, Taraji P. Henson, and I don't even know the other girl name, but I guess the girl that was dating Diddy or whatever. So they sitting on there, yeah, and they talking about love and stuff like that. And for some reason, it hit my spirit the wrong way because I think I'm bloody sick and tired of Mary not getting it right. Because I'm like, for somebody to for somebody to talk about love and happiness and being sad and all this kind of stuff for as many freaking years as Mary has been talking about it, I'm like, come on now, at some point you have to get it at least halfway right.
All right, you gotta look in the mirror at some point.
Thank you. Yes, I'm like, how in the world can every single all 47 of the public people you've been with just be bad dudes? I've counted. It's been 47.
I don't even know Who the last person is?
I don't know.
Her manager is last I know.
Well, the last
That's
person
what
was
she got.
her husband. I think that guy she married that she has to pay him monthly or something.
They lied.
But I'm like, good grief, man. I just get, and I know that's her bread and butter. You know, she sings the songs the women can feel, and oh, I hate a man, and I'm so depressed and want to be happy. I get it. I do. But doggone it, woman, you ain't got to live your songs all the time.
Right. Look, we love men on Vulnerably Naked. We lift our kings up.
You doggone right you do. Y'all ought to try to get married to come on and get her some healing. But I won't stay on married too long because I got myself out of that funk, so I don't want to go back into it. but yeah, she had me spiritually messed up for a little bit. It was burning me up. But okay, now when you guys saw the subject matter of is your level up limited by your surroundings, what did you think? What hit you in your spirit when you saw that?
What does he mean by that? And then we said to Zuri, and it was weird because Zuri must have heard what we were saying because she probably read our face. And she was like, don't worry, I'm gonna text him to get more details so we could be prepared because you know Zuri is not going anywhere unprepared.
That's right.
I will just straggle along. But Zuri's gonna make sure we prepared. So that was the first thing I truly we wasn't sure the direction you was going with it, and we wanted to make sure that we kind of had a full understanding of the question so we can be honest with it once we presented it to you or with you.
Well, I'm so glad you guys got the understanding and didn't just go off what you thought I may be thinking about, because anytime that I talk or speak on anything, yeah.
I'd be like, oh, people we surround ourselves with. Yeah, that's what, yeah. If you want to level up.
Yep. And as deep as I want to go with the answers and the thinking on this area, I needed you to be very clear with what I was talking about and things like that. But I guess the first question I'm going to ask is, have you consistently put your dreams on hold to handle day-to-day business? And that's for all three of you.
Oh, that's a good question, Celie. You trying to make us take our socks off already?
Doggone right. Hey, I expected y'all to probably not have on nothing but a ring anyway. So, because I know how y'all get down.
The process doesn't go like that. We start up slow. And as the night progress, we take up one piece at a time and to how far and how deep we get into the conversation.
Well, see, that was a light question.
So basically, listen, how naked we get depends on how good you get with these questions.
Okay, I got you. Well, here we go then. Now, do I need to ask it again?
Yes, ask the question.
Okay. Have you consistently put your dreams on hold to handle day-to-day business?
I want to say there's parts of my life, this is love, that I have put my dreams on hold for my children, for my family when I was married, just to make sure that home was taken care of. So yes, I have, in a period of my life, I have put my dreams and purpose, I feel like, on hold.
Now, before Zuri and Callie answers, to you, love, when you're doing that, do you think about yourself doing it while you're doing it, or do you do it and then those dreams are like not even thought about again until you get done what you need to get done?
Yeah, I think for me, it's a natural thing that, you know, your spouse naturally and your children naturally are going to go before you. And I don't think I didn't think twice about it. It's just something I knew I needed to do. And I knew that there would be a time or a space and time or moment where I would be able to get back to me.
Next up.
I'll go next. This is Barry. Do I constantly put my dreams on hold? I would say initially no, because I do something every day that is going to contribute to the dream, whether it be looking at a picture, whether it be writing about it, whether it be talking about it. I take little baby steps every day, so that way it doesn't get so lost in the shuffle of my daily living. So I do baby steps every day, some kind of way being in tune with it. So I would say no, I don't put my dreams on hold.
Okay. Now, do you incorporate, since you're saying that you don't put your dreams on hold and every day you're doing something, do you incorporate others in that process, or is this like a solo thing you do every single day? You just do a little bit to progress you?
I mean, some things are solo, but some things you surround yourself with people that contribute to it, contribute to the process. But yeah, it's not just solo, and it's not just always someone with me.
Oh, okay.
This is Chikali. Honestly, for me, sounds weird, but I didn't have dreams. I didn't. All I knew was to work, come home, take care of the kids. I never had dreams of doing anything, wanting anything more. I just existed, and I just went with the flow, the matrix. And then I think when the boys went off to school, and I was left to just me, even though I love photography, I didn't have a dream to do anything with it. I just enjoyed doing photography. So when the boys went off to school, all of a sudden, I wanted more. And I guess once when I desired more, nothing kind of held me back from being progressing with it. I just didn't know how to. I didn't know how, because this was my first time wanting something, and now that I want it, I didn't know how to go about to do it. It was unfamiliar with this feel of wanting something, So with that being said, I just kind of I progressed slowly, and as I progressed, I think the universe put me in the right places and connected me with the right people, and I saw them going towards their dreams, working towards their dreams. And I'm like, oh, so how do you do this, or how do you do that? So for me, it was a slow progression when I finally decided I had a dream. And I'm working towards a dream. I'm doing it slowly but surely, but I'm also being intentional with the progress.
That makes sense. That's interesting. And let me tell you something about your answer, Jay Callie. You doggone, this is how great your spirit is. You get one question, and the answer to that question semi-answers 3 or 4 more questions that I could have had. Your answers flowed right into some of the other things that I was going to ask you guys. So you may have to repeat yourself.
I'll try.
Yeah, because say it again.
We don't give ourselves enough credit on the things that we do daily that even contributes. It may not be nothing concrete. You know how sometimes we run the race and we don't see how far we done come along because we're in it. We're in the moment of it. But when you look back and start looking up all the things you've done, you realize that you've been progressing the whole time.
Exactly.
And I don't think we give ourselves enough credit when we look at that from that perspective.
You're absolutely right. And that's very important too, because every win is a win. And I think sometimes we look at things as small little steps and they seem not valid and things like that. But we got to understand, to get from start to finish is made up of a lot of little steps.
Yes.
It's
and
not.
Even a loss is a win.
You doggone right. Especially if you learn from them.
Exactly.
But that kind of flows into the next question I have for you guys is, when did you, first, can you remember the number one dream that you had that's at the top of your list? Can you remember when you birthed that or when that came about?
The number one dream.
Yeah, because a lot of a lot of us have a whole plate of things. So I guess the thing that's at the top of your list.
I'm gonna say like my first dream, Mrs. Love, was being a homeowner. And like the sacrifice that it took, leaving Florida, coming to Georgia, living with in-laws for a year as we worked on our credit and built our savings, and then sacrificing and living in a 2-bedroom apartment for 3 people, and and finally making that dream come true.
Congratulations.
Like my first one, I wanted to have a house by 30, want to be done with kids by 30, and it was all finished by 30.
Nice.
Dang, that's what I'm talking about.
I would this is Zuri. I would have to say my first dream that I actually did on my own was move out the state.
Okay.
Yeah, move out the state from South Carolina to Georgia, and just didn't know nobody down here. Just started from scratch, and just didn't really have a plan or anything. Just like I'm just gotta do it, because if I thought about it too long, I probably wouldn't have done it. Yeah, so I just did it, and I always have to say that would be my first dream.
How did your family feel like you moving out of state?
They was like, "Go, girl!"
Oh, it was really okay.
It was like a bittersweet, because I remember my mom was saying she went home and cried.
Oh.
And I was like, she's in Georgia, it's 2.5 hours away, But, she's still, everybody else still around South Carolina. So for me to do that, and you can't see me every day or be, that kind of thing, then yeah, it took a toll on her. But sometimes you just got to jump.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And Zuri didn't look back either.
You said what?
Zuri did not look back. She jumped and did not turn around, Jack.
Right in the middle. Oh, this is your county. Mine was when I was actually on vacation with the Queens, and I wanted to do my photography and poetry, and I birthed that with them on vacation. And I was like, we was talking and having fun and everything, and I came up with the idea, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And then I came back and I started and I did it. I did it by myself. Mm-hmm. And just the accomplishment of doing that book, even though it wasn't successful, it was successful to me because I did it. Mm-hmm. I don't care if no one ever bought that book. I did it, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I felt so like, oh my goodness.
To see something that was in your head, or that was inside of you, and actually come to fruition.
And then look how the universe allowed it to come back another full circle for me to say, okay, it didn't go where. And now I want to broaden it. Mm-hmm. And connect with another fellow artist.
Say it.
I said, say it. And now it's going to be bigger and better. And the universe is going to catapult it even further. Yes. And every time it's going to go further and further. So, that was my first dream. I was in my 40s and my first dream of anything that I wanted to do. So I'm excited.
And an important piece of that is that you didn't stop. Mm-hmm. Even when you felt like, hey, this thing wasn't as successful as you may have wanted it to be at that time, it didn't cause you to snuff out your dream, because you got to keep pushing. Everything won't be great in our eyes, but they'll bless other people, because I received that book as a gift and it blesses me. So dreams are very important. People's purpose is very important, but I won't get ahead of myself. I'm gonna ask this next question. What do you think is the most important piece to staying focused while you're pursuing your dreams or going into areas that you want to be in? What do you think is the most important piece to staying focused?
I would have to say consistency. Yeah, like I said, whether it be a big task or a small task, you got to do something to pour into the pot. So just being consistent for me.
Yeah, I want to say always keeping your why at the forefront, like why you want to do it. What's the purpose of it?
That's good.
And I'm going to top it off by saying realign constantly checking in with self,
That's
making
a good one.
sure that the reasons you're doing it, why am I doing this? And it's not about anyone else, it's about self. And then always making sure that while you're doing it, your purpose is being filled, and you're not doing it for anyone but self.
That's real good. That goes into, you said something about the why. Like Love was saying, that why is a very important thing, because I think we all get in these funks sometime for whatever reason. I know I do with whatever I'm doing, whether it's writing, whether it's the podcast, whether it's the online store, just whatever. Sometimes I just feel like, let me just slack off for a bit. Let me take some uh, overextended me time. Or if it's not moving as fast as I want it to move, sometimes I get discouraged. But a lot of times, what gets me back up on the horse, so to say, is to thinking about the why I started it, why I want to do it, in the end, where I want it to be. And a lot of times that causes me to keep pushing and to keep doing what I'm doing.
Saying
Now,
hop back on that horse. Huh?
hey, that horse will buck you off most times, but
Okay.
as long as you keep getting on that bad boy, at some point, you know what I mean, that sucker gonna let you ride. That bad boy gonna let you ride. Now, as far as Vulnerably Naked goes, who decided to take this journey as a group, as a collective?
Listen, that question right there, believe it or not, we have a difference of opinion. So I'm gonna say this. This is J. Kelly. This is to explain Vulnerably Naked. Love had the seed within her spirit and her heart. Okay? Then once she had that, she offered the opportunity for Zuri and I to help water that seed and brought fruition to what you see Vulnerably Naked is right now.
Oh. So let me put butter on this bread real quick. So what you're saying is, and this is breaking news, y'all. This is exclusive stuff right here. So the Vulnerably Naked, the Vulnerably Naked that we all get to experience now was originally just love. And then the rest of Destiny's Child got added in.
I like to say Vulnerably Naked was something that I was pregnant with, and Zuri and Jakali, they were the parents.
Oh, that's a good way of looking at it. Okay. Dang.
It was something that we do naturally anyway. When we get together, we are vulnerable with one another. That's our time to talk, get all off our chest. Even if we're uplifting one another, pouring into one another, or just being around one another. We may not even know what the other one is going through, but just to share the energy, to be like, hey sis, I'm clean, I'm here. That's something that we did naturally together every time we got together. So I wanted to be able to share that, like for us to be able to share our energy and create spaces for men and women to come and be vulnerable and just open up the door to be open and just have conversation and exchange love.
That's amazing. We need a lot more of that, but you guys do it perfectly. And what I love about your show is that it feels as organic as it is. I mean, it feels real. Nothing feels like it never seems like you guys just come up with stuff and just feel it out and stuff. It actually feels like you're having, like you said, just a regular conversation with the three of you, and you're allowing everyone else to sit in on it.
Yes. Right. And usually Celine does a part two and we go end. Okay.
What part two?
We just keep going.
Now,
we ended like one last night. Well, this morning.
Okay, so this part 2 must not be for everyone else. Okay, so we got to subscribe to get that.
Like, stay on the ride, stay on the journey.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Now, what were some of the challenges, if any?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah. I think if we had any, I don't really think we had any challenges. I think we just really had to figure out, that we all are special. We all have something that we bring to the table that the other does not. And just trying to figure out where to fall into place. Where can our gifts be best used for what? I think that is something that we constantly talk about. What more can we bring to the table? How can we be even more vulnerable? And just trusting each other to be themselves, and not kind of mold into one.
Mm.
And I'll piggyback off of that, Sleep. We didn't have to try, actually. It just natural. Love said, like, we naturally did it in the beginning. I mean, off of this stuff, like, So when we put it on top of the wisdom, it was just like, okay. So it wasn't like a show. We don't put on a show.
Right.
Yeah, we're not actors.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, we are. Yeah. But so it's just like, I don't think we had to work for it. Honestly, I feel that our sisterhood has elevated because of Vulnerably Naked. And not only that, it also helped us individually to go towards our other dreams that we're trying to venture on. But Vulnerably Naked has made us connect with each other even more,
Right.
Yeah. Now, when you guys think about the impact that you have on others and the responses and feedback that you get from other people, does that kind of feed what you're doing? Has that ever altered the way you come at certain things, or how do you guys handle that?
The feedback that we get from people is actually priceless, because, like you said, this is something we do just organically. And then when people come to us and say that we have impacted their lives, or they look at things differently, it's really a blessing, because we are contributing and we're playing a factor in people's lives to even elevate them. So yeah.
And there's people that we come in contact with that join wisdom that impacted our lives too.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely grown.
Do you guys feel like
because we have my son, he's 26 or 20, something like that. He's in his 20s, and he's even said that listening to us, we literally are able to connect with his age group. And it's natural. It's not like he doesn't feel like, oh, what are those old farts talking about? No. What am He said when he listens, and my sons, my adopted sons too, they say the same thing, like this is good, like you guys are good. So we are able to touch not only people on our age level, but different age levels and male and female. And that's a great part.
Yeah.
We are able to connect with men and women, and I like that part.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, speaking of that, has that ever been a thought to you guys? Have you ever felt like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to open ourselves up to the world? Everything that comes in may not be positive. Have you ever thought that what if what we're talking about doesn't reach, every demographic, like the younger generation or anything like that? Or did you go into it just saying, hey, we're just going to be us, we're going to be vulnerable, and whatever happens, happens?
Exactly.
The latter part.
Yeah, exactly. We just do what we do, enjoying each other. And, if it reaches someone, if it helps someone, like that's like icing on the cake. It's a plus. But we just do everything organically, just enjoying each other, enjoying the conversation, and trying to learn, trying to elevate, just wanting to be better at the end of the day.
Trying to level up.
purposely said that we was not going to be one of those shows that male bash. We was going to uplift our kings and, you know, put a spotlight on them at times, because that's not popular in the podcast world.
Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right about that. And that's one thing. It's funny that you say that, because that's one thing that I always wanted to do as well. I was like, I see so many, as far as the men go with podcasts, I see so many that turn it into a man versus woman type thing. And I was like, I never want to be that way, because I don't hate women, for one. And two, I'm like, there's no unification that can be there. And a lot of times people fall on that excuse, like, oh, if I tell you the bold, blunt truth, it's only to help you. No, delivery is everything. And if you're saying something to someone and causing them to be on the defense, then it's probably not going to be anything productive that comes from that conversation. Whether I'm talking to kids, men, women, it's total edification is what my goal is, to make someone feel better about themselves, to open up someone's mind, to make people think and quote unquote level up. And that's what I love about you guys' show too, is because you guys do the same thing. You know, you can be whoever you are. You can it doesn't matter what background, it doesn't matter what the person may believe in, you know, there it's an open forum, you know, be who you are.
Yeah, we wanted to create that safe space, no matter who it was. And we do get a thrill when men do come and take their clothes off and, you know, let us into their world, because we don't get that too often, right?
Yeah. And let me tell the listeners too, when they say they enjoy for men to come on and take their clothes off, I mean, they mean women too, but let me tell you, they're talking literally and figuratively.
Right.
They literally want you to be bucking naked if you're talking to them on their platform. Yeah. They want you to go all out with it. Now, this next question here, I want you guys to answer it, but I want you to really peel back the layers of the onion on this one, and really dig into it. And the question is, have you ever been afraid of your purpose?
Have we ever been afraid of our purpose? I would have to say, I'm just now coming into my purpose. So I didn't have the fear because I didn't know what it was. So I'm just now, this is brand new to me, to actually, my purpose is to be fulfilled, to be satisfied in the things that I have a passion for. So once I finally decided that's what it was, then no, I don't have any fear. Like I said, I live every day doing something towards it. So the fear wasn't a factor for me, because like I said, I just now got on this train of knowing what my purpose was.
I can dig it. What about you, love?
What about you, Jacqueline?
So as far as me, you know, I'm kind of weird with my stuff. So let me see how to break this down for me. Every day that the universe blessed me to open my eyes, for me, is a daily purpose. My daily purpose is basically my journey to my whole purpose. So these small little pieces of puzzles that I have, that I wake up in the morning, I don't have that fear, because I feel that the universe has prepared me for whatever my daily purpose was for that day. And sometimes it's just probably just to sit and listen. Sometimes I might have something that the universe might want me to pour into someone else. So I don't have a fear, because if I had a fear, then I would be fearing the universe, and I don't fear the universe. Because if the universe has something for me to do, I'm prepared for that daily purpose. Did I confuse you?
No, I totally understand what you're saying.
So at the end of my journey, when I'm sitting back in that rocking chair and thinking about, hopefully I don't have Alzheimer's or dementia and I remember the shit.
Yeah.
And I'm looking back on my life journey, I will remember those small little pieces, those smaller puzzles. And I can see, so this, all those small things was to get here.
Yeah.
That's how I view it. My little world. Yeah. So there's no fear.
Glad to hear it. Now, I think.
Repeat the question one more time, just to have a full understanding.
Yes. Have you ever been afraid of your purpose? No, I didn't. I think I only heard two answers. Somebody left out. Love didn't give an answer.
Love to hear. Yeah, I'm still over here like chewing on it a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, you can keep chewing. I'll give mine. I'll be transparent.
Talk to me.
I try to do a transparent moment every week, and I guess I'll let this be mine. But there have been a lot of times that I've been afraid of my purpose, to be honest with you. And because I used to hear, it's like every stage of my talents that God gave me, every time I dip a toe into that particular pool, I'll get this feedback from people. Yeah, because I always just, and sometimes I still get on myself for this, and it's because I will dip just enough into the pool to know that I can do it, and I'll get all this feedback of, wow, won't you really put y'all into it, or that's great, and oh, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that. And I've noticed, I've looked back on my life, and every time that's the case, I pull back. And it's because I would always have this fear that somehow, some way, I was gonna mess it up and be a laughingstock. So I would do just enough to impress people, but not enough to really turn it into like a career or something like that. Because I've had one particular, my daughter's mom, she used to tell me all the time, she would get upset. She was like, you can do this, this, and this. Why aren't you really pursuing it? And there were times where I would lie to her and be like, oh, well, this stuff takes time. I am pursuing it. You just don't see it. But the whole time, the reality of it was I wasn't pursuing it because I had that fear. And now I'm at a point where there's absolutely no fear. So I have like 20 different things on my table that I'm working on, all of them at the same time. But sometimes it can be overwhelming. And when I look at it, I'm like, okay, well, if I would have really put my all into this, this, and this, then who knows where I could have been right now. So I'm playing catch up with things like generational wealth and setting my kids up so that when they reach their late teens and early 20s, you know what I mean, they have a better kind of like lane to go in than I had. But I waited till I'm 46 freaking years old. So it's like the majority of the things that I'm giving my all to now, I was working on this stuff in my 20s. I only had my little toe in it though. Well, now I got the whole foot in there now.
You say you got his whole foot in?
I got the whole foot in that
I like
man.
to say it's never too late. Where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. You were fearful for a reason.
That's right.
Maybe you wasn't mature enough in the past to uphold that purpose at the time.
I definitely was not.
You definitely where you're supposed to be, and God will definitely propel you forward as if you have been doing it forever.
Yeah, I was definitely, I know me for myself, I was licking the concrete too much back then. I was way too heavy in the streets to be, focused, to be focused on anything productive.
Silly, you and these doggone
saying.
I'm just saying, I'm telling you, I would, and sometimes I do. Now, it's funny you said that though, because a lot of times that's what gives me peace when I'm getting down on myself about stuff. Because I'll remember, I'll be like, okay, I was nowhere near then where I am now with loving myself, with the way that I think, with how I approach situations. So yeah, I probably would have messed it all up, back then. So yeah, you're right. Things
Fumbled on the play.
I would have fumbled so many times. The coach would have took me out the game.
You would have been benched.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now have you chewed on it enough? Can you tell us yours now?
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I'm down to the bone. I'm down to the bone now. So I would say I don't want to say that I feared my purpose, but one thing is that I felt like, because God told me maybe 14, 15 years ago, a simple sentence, and that was take care of my kids. And that's such a broad statement for me. Like, my thing is, I want to make sure that I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm aligning in the purpose that God has for me and not my own purpose. And I think my thing is I procrastinated on it, not out of fear, but just wanting to make sure that I do it right, that I'm aligning properly, and that I'm listening, and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Now, do you when you get to the understanding of if you're doing it right, and this goes for all three of you, when you get in that space to where you're doing it right and you want to make sure that you're aligned in that purpose, do you lean on or depend on others to give you that verification, or is it something you feel within yourself?
So for me, it's a feeling that I get. I become fulfilled. I become full, and I begin to see fruit. I think that whenever you're in purpose and you're doing what you're supposed to do, it bears fruit. That means it helps someone or some people. You just never know. But that's how I know that I'm on the right path, and that keeps me going.
Figuratively and literally.
Right.
Yeah. Because I know mine was bearing hard figs for a while. I just now started getting some juicy muscadines.
You got some muscadines. I like muscadines.
I love them. What about you? What about you, Callie and Zer?
Like I said, I'll repeat the question.
Are you guys drinking wine as well?
We got a wine-free night with this lady.
Oh, y'all don't have no wine? Oh, wow.
No wine conversation in this house.
Where you going?
So I'm the only one sipping on wine right now, but
what you sipping on over there? What kind of wine?
Let me see. I'm sipping on Pacific fruit from the vineyards of England.
Oh,
It's a 1981 bottle.
all right. See, we should have been in person.
There you go. But see, now I still have to come to Georgia though, so I can, come to you guys' platform and I can feel your vibe and be engulfed in your vulnerable bubble.
Definitely. Yes. Just let us know.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
We're gonna hold you to it now.
Hey, you can hold it. I'm coming. I'm coming, believe that. But the question, Zuri, was dang, what was the question, love?
Wait a minute. They try to embarrass me all up in my house. Someone there's no wine. I'm about to give them a shot now.
There you go.
There we go. Y'all ain't gonna talk about me and the people on podcast.
That's right.
Hey, y'all talk about you.
Get them right, Callie. Get them right.
I know. Get them right.
I understand the questions.
While Callie is
vulnerably naked.
while Callie is getting y'all right, let me ask you this. Have you experienced whether it be, well, I'm gonna keep outside people out of it. Let's just talk about family and friends. Have you ever experienced like family and friends seeing or hearing your vision or what you or going into as far as your purpose go, and their communication towards you is lackluster, or they might not have the fire that you have? And if so, how did that affect you? How'd you deal with that?
They might not have the fire that I have. Honestly, it's been the opposite. People, well, family, like you said, family and friends always saw more in me than I saw in myself. So they was actually like supporters, and like they pushed me along the way and stuff like that. Even when the light get real dim, they would still be there to like say, "Hey, you doing this? You doing this? You." That's why one of my friends actually was like, "You don't give yourself enough credit. You don't look at all the stuff you've accomplished. You know, you're looking for the big prize, but you don't see all the little presents along the way." So I have to say, look at that. You see the shot did?
That quick.
That I don't keep people around me that don't like help me along my way. I don't, because to me they will pull me down, and it's gonna repel. I'm gonna repel them.
Yeah.
I want to be magnetic to people that is for me and about me and supportive of me and things of that nature.
So you basically keep your circle tight like Nat Booty.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Like, does a Nat have a booty?
It's real tight. So what about you, Callie?
She can't get over what you said.
How do I follow back?
I know, right? See, that's why I had to ask the question again, because I'm like, I get thrown out with his saying.
I'm going to piggyback off of what, this is Jacali. I'm going to piggyback off of what Zuri said. I also, the people on my life circle, my life journey, they see more in me and my talents and my skills than I saw in myself. I would always have like, I would do a photo shoot, and I'd be like, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, no, this. So I always had ones-on-ones on my life journey that was always ready to pick me up and take me that next step, because even when I couldn't take the step, they always set me up for the next moment. They always, okay, since here, let me send my pictures to this person and then see what can happen. So I always had someone on my journey to make sure that put that mirror in front of me and say, look at what I see. Do you see what I see? Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's done on purpose. Like Zoe said, it's magnetic. Mm-hmm. I truly magnetize energy that is like energy with myself. And I think that's why Vulnerably Naked is what it is, because we magnetized each other. Mm-hmm.
That's deep. Gotta have those good magnets.
Mm-hmm. So I thought you were going to repeat the question
again. Love needs me to repeat the question.
No. I think the same as the queens have stated. My family has been very supportive in all things that I do. I think, just as the queen said, they do see the greatness in me. They may see, a little more than I'm able to see myself sometimes. Mm-hmm. But they're definitely the ones, family and friends, that keeps me encouraged and keeps me going. I don't think that it limits me at all. And anyone that, feels or says anything negatively to me about my purpose or my journey, I make sure I exit stage left.
I totally feel you on that, because I know my family and friends are tight like the toes on a duck. So they really they really keep me grounded and motivated, and and a lot of times that pushes me. But let me tell you how my brain sizzles. Sometimes sometimes I will hear things from loved ones, and I guess that little imp that can be on your shoulder tells me sometimes, well, they're gonna say that. They're supposed to say that. Or they love you, so they're not gonna tell you that it's garbage, blah, blah, blah. And then there have been times where I have succumbed to that little voice and really get down on myself. But I will say that my circle is so motivating and so loving that a lot of times it's not just what they say, it's what they do. Because you can support someone without saying anything, you can support someone without purchasing anything. I mean, there are lots of ways to support people, and there are lots of ways to show that love. And thankfully, 99% of everyone that has ever said something to me that was negative, like a you can't do it, or that's garbage, or that's ugly, blah, 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 they've always been people that I wouldn't have known existed before I read the comment. So it doesn't really affect me much.
Yeah. You don't put stock in it.
At all. I have some bad thoughts about stuff, and I'm still working on that though, because I tell you, my brain pow goes off every day. I pow somebody in my head every day. But let me ask you this: we know Vulnerably Naked has the worldwide love as far as a podcast. Have there been anything that you guys, as if you can't speak on it, that's fine, but have there been things that you guys want to like expand or add to this Vulnerably Naked empire?
Yes, definitely. We're working on some things in the midst right now.
We're constantly leveling up.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking. Talk about that level up.
So yeah, we're eventually we will be live and in person in color, so you guys can see our beautiful faces and feel our energy even more.
Yeah.
So you can see some of the things that we act out that you may not know that we're doing. And y'all can see Zuri's face. Yes. But that's the one thing we're willing to share. We got some merch that'll be coming out as well.
Yes.
What else y'all willing to share with the people? See, Celine, you're getting all the exclusive.
I'm telling that's what we do over here. Get those good exclusives.
Definitely building. The sky is the limit to where this can go.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we are looking forward to not just with you, Celine, but other podcasters and being a part, joining with, because this one of the things that Zuri and Love and I, one of the things that we don't hoard information. If we know that you're interested in doing something, if we can tell you, we're going to share it with you. We're going to have people come on the podcast to let us know how to get wealthy, how to be healthy, how to be wise, how to use whatever it is that needs to be used in this life journey to make us as prosperous. And when you say prosperous, don't think money prosperous. That's gonna come. Yeah. And I learned that from Love. I truly really learned this part from Love. Finances is gonna come once you're investing in what you love doing.
Exactly.
Line, So we're looking forward to doing combinations with other podcasters and bringing along Black women,
say it,
or men, kids, whatever age group that needs to be touched, that we can bring along, because that each one teach one is so real.
Yes.
It's so real. My goal is that when I do ready to transition, I want to be able to, when people think of who Jakali was, I want to be thought of an inspiration. Yeah. Like she inspired me.
And we definitely believe in the village.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh, you just the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, we definitely.
If we had money, that was the first thing we would do is buy a piece of land.
Right.
Piece of
Start
land
a
and a
community.
small start a community. Living off the land. Now, we just talked about that last night in part 2. See, there you go. Another
Yeah,
exclusive.
see?
Part 2, we talking about our other land there right there.
And we definitely want to be able to bridge that gap that we have right now between men and women.
Yes.
And just start loving and, you know, connecting and just knowing and learning and appreciating the gifts that we each have and that we're stronger together than we are apart.
Yes. And that goes right into something that just popped in my head. Now, speaking of love and bridging the gap and cornbread, let's say that you guys were in a relationship, right? Let's say you're in this relationship and you love the person you're with. Excuse me. You love the person that you're with. Everything is hitting on all cylinders. And part of your life journey or your purpose doesn't seem to be accepted or appreciated or pushed by the person you're with. Now, I want to know from each of you, how do you handle that? How would you handle that? And let me say this as well. There's exactly 2 minutes on this timer. Don't you dare, when it runs out, think that that's it. You better hop right back up here.
All right, Captain. I know, right? I want to say for me, and this is love, I'm going to be really quick. I have to align in purpose. I have to purpose is what I was created for. I was created to love and be in purpose. And I feel like that king that's for me, he's going to support my purpose. He's going to align, like our purposes may coexist even. But I have to align in purpose. I may have to excuse myself from that king and, you know, maybe we'll cross paths again. But I honestly don't think that that king is for me if he is not going to support my purpose and I'm not supporting his purpose.
So you would be, and we're going to save Zuri and Jakali for when y'all come back up. So I'll finish this minute out talking to you, love. So you would be willing to sever what you have with your king in order to stay online with your purpose?
Unfortunately, yes. I have to be in purpose because that's what God created me for. And I don't feel like that king is made for me if I can't align in purpose.
Dadgum too.
Because I wouldn't want that king to be out of his purpose as well. And I feel like whatever our purpose is in God, it also should intertwine us loving each other.
Mm-hmm.
Along with whatever the mission is.
And the mission is what? Leveling up. We're gonna let this 5 seconds pop down and then y'all gonna come right back up here. And while they're getting ready to come back up here, let me say this to everyone that's listening right now and watching on YouTube. I appreciate you. And in the event that you want to come up and say anything about what we're discussing tonight, whether you want to talk about your particular situation, your level up situation, if there are things that are hindering you from leveling up or have hindered you from leveling up, come on up. Be a guest. Shoot, you might have time now because I don't see them popping right up like I requested. So if it's anybody in here that wants, oh, well, I guess I spoke too soon. Don't beat me, ladies. I spoke too soon. But yeah, after they get theirs out, if there's anyone that wants to come up and discuss, please do so. Did y'all hear me talking junk?
Look at that, talking crap about it. I was taking some money.
That shows my impatience, didn't it? So who was next up?
This is I would have to say that my partner has always been very supportive of all my endeavors that I do. So I don't have to worry about that particular thing in my life, because no matter what it is, from gardening to podcasting to making my own product line, he's always there. So I don't have to worry about that part.
Well, let's say you did have to worry about it. How would you handle it?
If that was very heavy on my heart, if I'm with someone and they was not supportive, I would have to piggyback with what Love said. It just wasn't meant to be like that. So I would have to exit stage door left.
Well, let's say this now, and maybe I am picking at the scab a little bit too much, but like I said, we're gonna peel these layers back. Let's say, because as we all know, it's not always easy to separate from relationships, even when we know they aren't, quote unquote, good for us. So let's say it's a situation where you're in so deep to where, like I said, you're madly in love with this person. Let's say you have kids, with this person. You guys have built a life together. And then you get to a point where it's and I guess this falls into the surroundings limiting your level up. And let's say you get to a point where you want to level up while you're in the midst of all this other stuff that you've created with this person. And then they just aren't feeling what the level up is. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Tina Turner kind of go through that with Ike when she wanted to do different kind of songs?
I'm a big person on roots. So there's got to be a root of why are they not being supportive of you. So with the Tina Turner incident, he was jealous of her. He didn't want her to become better than what he was doing.
Yeah.
So once you find that root, then I think it will be a little bit easier to make your decision on whether you need to stay or go. Because it could be jealousy. It could be they don't understand what you're really trying to do. It could be a number of things. But if you get to the root, and then I think everything else will kind of fall into place or help you with your decision.
That makes sense. You know who I'm waiting on.
Yes.
She over here quiet.
Did she have another shot?
I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what the Queens and also said. When you connect with someone, obviously, especially when you know yourself and you know what you desire, want to desire in a relationship. In the beginning, of course, I'm thinking that you guys are on the same purpose journey, because we had this conversation. We're connected. Now, in the journey along the way, if he decides, wait a minute, as we're connecting, you want to go plant that mango tree, and he's like, no, I'm not into that. My first question would be, because you say we're vested, correct?
That's right.
This is the beginning stage. I ain't got to have a conversation. So if this is a vested relationship, tell me why you don't want to be with me or help me, assist me plant the mango tree. If I can get a why and a reasoning behind it, then I will know how to lead with you. If it's something that we can work on, I can help you figure out, let's therapy we need or whatever we need. But the why for me will determine the severance. If you plainly just be like, yo, I still want to be a part of it, then I get that, because I want to respect, like Love said. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to do anything for me or with me. If it's not a part of you, if you don't want to be a part of my journey, it's okay, because I might not be what you need, want to desire at that moment anymore. And everybody got to do what's best for them.
Yeah.
But if you still want to be a part of my journey, then let's figure out why you don't want to help me plant the mango tree.
He said, I don't want to plant the mango tree because it's cold. We have a cold climate, and it ain't going to thrive.
If he says that,
yeah, that's good.
Then we will have to figure out, that's a simple fix.
Yeah.
That is a simple fix. It's cold, like, damn, okay.
The big thing of mango tree, like, the climate ain't right.
But do we always
Planet in the inside.
do we always
Look at a light.
do we always look at it like that though from their point of view when we feel that quote unquote purpose in our bosom? I mean, when you feel it in your freaking loins, are you
But
really?
if you love, okay, but King, if you're saying that this is love, right? This is true love.
Yeah.
This is love, right? I don't know about this true love, but if this is love, right? No, the relationship.
I know, I got it.
Yeah.
If this is about love, I need to have the conversation no matter what. There has to be a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I'm learning late in my journey. Because I would tell you quick snippet, all right, be good. But if I really want to work with it and want to, like when it is, I say I'm goodbye, I know why there was a goodbye. So the conversation needs to be had. It needs to be had. If you don't want to, then okay, then I just don't want to. But I could respect that too. I just don't want to plant a mango tree. Okay, I get it. And you go over there and I'm gonna go over here.
What about you, King? What's your thoughts on it?
For I think if I truly want to go for something and I really feel in my soul, in my heart that's if I feel like that's really what I'm supposed to be doing and that's what I've been purposed to do, then yeah, if you're not on the boat, you swimming. And I don't jump to swim, so I need to be driving the boat. So if you have to get off, you just have to get off. I think we as people and we as artistic minds need to always leave the door just a little bit open for input and seeing things another kind of way. But at the end of the day, I think you have to be more in control of your purpose than allowing someone else to be. Because there are so many reasons why someone could feel like, since we were talking about mango trees, why someone could feel like not planting a mango tree. But if you were told to plant it, and that's whether you're hearing from you or the higher power, I guess it falls in line just like Noah and the Ark did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because sometimes there will be times where you'll be the only one that can see the vision that you have.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And there's a lot of sacrifice.
People don't believe in your vision too.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with purpose. It's
say that again, King.
I'm gonna say it. There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with purpose. Because everything, a lot of times people just see the end result to someone working hard and following their dreams and stuff like that. But there's a whole lot of lonely nights. There's a lot of sad days. There are a lot of tears. There's a lot of heartache. I mean, there's a lot of bumpy roads that go to fulfilling one's purpose. Mm-hmm. So it takes some sacrifice. It takes a lot of discipline. And sometimes it just strictly takes, like you said, jumping off the mountain. It just takes faith. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what we're going to do now is, because I think I took off more than I wanted to, but and that's normally what happens on y'all show. But I will say this: I want to give you guys opportunity again to let the people know, those that weren't in at the beginning, let them know what platforms you're on, let them know what you guys have going on. Let them know what you're doing, let them know how they can reach you, how they can listen to you, how they can contact
you. Okay. We are on Wisdom on Wednesday nights at 8:00. You can follow us on there, and we're also on Instagram under Vulnerably Naked. We have a Facebook page, Vulnerably Naked, and we have email address, and that's vulnerablynakedqueens@gmail.com. We are looking to go visual in the next couple of months, and also bringing merchandise to the table. So we're like I said, the sky's the limit.
I love it. I love it. Everybody that's in here, if you aren't already following Vulnerably Naked, please go follow Vulnerably Naked. Follow me as well, because I see a lot of people up in here, and I don't think all y'all follow me. So get right. And I'm gonna. Yeah, you can't chat now. But another one of our sisters has a show, and it's called I Am As I Am, and I'm gonna actually cut mine short so I can hop over there because she's talking to Neil Mutant Milam, and I'm ready to hear what they talking about. And I will also say, subscribe to the YouTube channel King Seared Productions. And next week, I'm going to start coming on at 8 o'clock versus 6 o'clock. Because 6 o'clock, people want to, around 6 o'clock, people getting off work and they got to watch the kids up and cook their vegetables and stuff like that. So I figure 8 o'clock might do a little better. And that'll give me the extra 2 hours will give me time to stock up the wine and stuff like that too. So
Ice.
that I got to have the ice. But I truly appreciate you guys coming on tonight. It was very educating, it was very organic, and it was very vulnerable, which I love. So thank you guys for coming on. Please don't be strangers, and I will be asking you to come on again because there are a lot of topics that I think you ladies will be perfect for. So you'll definitely be coming on again, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome.
You to come down here to Georgia.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm telling you, I'll say this, what's this, March? I'm gonna try to get down there early April.
Okay. All right, you let us know what dates. You got it on Wednesday.
I most certainly will. And before you guys go, can you please do your sound off? I know it's not y'all show, but I love to hear it.
Thank you for being vulnerably naked.
Boy, I tell you, see, y'all can hear them say that every Wednesday. Every Wednesday around 10 o'clock, y'all can hear them say that. But thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And all y'all that's listening, thank you guys for listening. Check back on me next Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. and I'll be back with another topic. I appreciate y'all. And that is the end of that show. Thank y'all for watching. We'll be back next week. Got a lot more things in store that I think you guys will appreciate. I'm going to finish this cigar, finish this wine, listen to another friend of mine's podcast, maybe hop on there and talk a little bit. And I'll see y'all next week at 8 o'clock.